Hi guys, welcome back to my student diary. So, we left off with me being very stressed and going on a leave of absence. I've now decided to cancel that leave of absence because of the state of the world and because things are going to be up in the air for the next couple of years, I'm predicting. So I decided to go back to uni and finish my degree while this whole thing was going on, because I have a funny feeling that the UK is going to go back into lockdown. So I didn't want to be bored, so I thought I might as well make use of the time I have in lockdown doing something that's productive, and also at the end of the day will complete my journey when it comes to doing my degree that years ago I set out that challenge for myself. I've been through a lot in the last 7 or 8 years of my education, re-education into my adulthood, that was drastically different than the education that I had from being in a normal school kind of system growing up, and going from I know absolutely fuck all to knowing something is a lot better than nothing. And if you can hear my cat in the background, I'm sorry, I can't do anything about it. I think she's in heat right now, so you're just gonna have to bear with me as I am bearing with it as well. Um, so a couple of weeks ago, I decided that I'm signing back up, and no problem, got to sign back up, got all my tuition stuff sorted and whatnot, and I'm back on the horse. So the plan is for my university, University of Stirling, is to go forward into this uh, semester uh, with doing a lot of home study, at least for my degree, the honours English degree, and go forward like that. I know a couple of other students in other degrees that will be doing the same, but it depends. There will be some smaller classes happening, but for right now, it's home learning, distance learning. And my uni is very good at doing the online system. It's very easy, it's very accessible, it's user friendly. Once you know what you're doing, it's up and ready, it's on the go. And even if there is something, they are pretty quick to fix it and get it out the way. I do appreciate the quickness and the speed that they did getting me back into enrolment, etc., and how the teaching staff have already put up guidance videos on what the content's going to be like, what your position and your job is in regards to your research, etc. And really laying it all out for there. I mean, in comparison to my sister, who's going to be starting at the University of Strathclyde and starting straight into third year, and never has been to uni before, is having quite a time of it. They haven't put out timetables. Their online system is there's nothing up there for them. They don't know when they're getting an induction. They don't that, and the next thing. So I feel very blessed that the University of Stirling has their shit together. Let me put that clearly. They have their shit together. And for the most part, when it comes to online learning and being there for their students and really just taking the time to help them get through their studies with the less amount of pain possible, because there still will be some pain because it's stressful. It's a university degree that is up there with the best of them. It might not be one of the ancient universities, but for a young university that was opened in the 60s, it is hard going. They put you through your ringer and they do challenge you, but they are very accepting of different circumstances individually, etc., and with your mental health. So going from last year, and getting help with my anxiety and dealing with that properly and having space from it. When I go back, when officially everything starts in a couple of weeks properly, I will be under the provision where there is accountability for my anxiety, and I will get a couple of weeks extra on top of my deadlines to help me really put things together in a desirable manner that will help give me an advantage where I'm at a disadvantage with my mental health. And that will continue, and I'll be getting checkups and stuff like that with them just to see how things are going, if there's anything else they can do, etc. I feel that find that very valuable. My personal tutor, my actual tutors, my lecturers are always on hand if I need to drop in a question or ask them. So that's very, very useful for me. The setup for this semester is your dissertation prep. For the fourth year is the dissertation prep, and I have 2 optional elective modules. So I've chosen creative writing too, and theories and approaches. Now, we all know that I had a really bad time with theory. I think it was second year, I think it was second year. It was hell. I hated it. I didn't understand it. I didn't get it, or at least in the writing of the essays. And I've come to re-understand with myself that I am extremely good when it comes to creative writing, but when it comes to academic writing, I'm not poor, but I'm not quite up there yet with everything. And maybe that's some sort of dyslexia that I have, and I'm not sure, but it's not like I take in the information, it doesn't stay. It does stay. It's just reforming that into the acceptable standard that they're looking for without waffling into other areas, etc. I do try. I want to really elevate that as much as I can this year. I got a lot of good feedback on my creative writing ability from last semester, and seeing that the way I approached things was very different and very unique. I just needed to kind of pull things together a bit better and expand on other smaller ideas that were dipped into my work. So I think I'll be focusing on that. I went with theories and approaches because the other optional module was full of Shakespeare, and I really didn't want to have the time for that. That would just depress me. I've nothing really against Shakespeare and the classics. They're very valuable, but I feel for me personally, it would be a waste of time just now where I'm not ready to sink my teeth into that. I think I will come to that path myself naturally, where I become curious enough to delve into something maybe further on in a master's or a PhD, etc. So I want that to be fresh for then, but for now I want to focus on the hard stuff. So that's my creative writing that I want to round out to go with my own writing ability, with my publishing, my self-publishing, etc., creating books and being an author. But I also want to do the theories and approaches so that I have that background there to say, you know, I've done this and I can write theory. I know the chemical composition of a novel, of poetry, etc., the sociological theoretics behind it, and so on and so forth. I want to be able to say that I've got that, and it's a teaching aspect that I can have in my toolkit. So there's that, and the dissertation prep is also to get us to kind of really think what we're wanting to do for our dissertation time. I've been thinking about mine since third year, and that's a very good point to make as well. If you are going through a degree right now, even if you're in first year, start thinking about your dissertation. Ask third and fourth years what the dissertation ideas are, and try to find something that interests you. Don't copy someone else. Think about your own ideas. They want you to be unique. They want you to create things. And that's where I'm going. I have at least 2 solid ideas, maybe a third one, and I want to kind of go forward with that. Am I scared? Yes. I'm very fucking scared. I want to be able to go into a master's degree for me, because that's my dream. That's what I want. You know, you may be like, what for? And just for me, because I can say that I did that. You know, I spent my life doing something that I like doing, and that is my studies, and that is reading, and that is researching, and that's achieving stuff. To have a master's would be amazing, and bonus points, I'd be the only person in my family to have a master's degree. Well, I'd be the only one to have an actual degree, an honours degree, but to have a master's on top of that, that'd be great. If I could do that and then go into a PhD or something later on in life, I would do that hands down. You know, I always want to be busy. I always want to be learning something new, and that's a important part about being a student. And I also want to point out that being a Scottish student, you're extremely privileged when it comes to tuition, because it's free. Technically, it's free. It's paid for us. It's already done. On top of all the student loans and stuff like that, we have it very, very well compared to some other countries, even America, and some of these other countries that are on kind of on the same level as us. Like, I want to be able to use what is given to me at my disposal as much as I can, so that in the future, when I am perhaps maybe a bit more fortunate, I can give that back to other people, because that's what I want to do. Not only for my family, but my friends and people out with that circle, and with other people to influence. If I became a good author and I was well known, I had money, I would give money back to the university and be like, here, distribute that to our English students, distribute that to our nursing students, distribute that money to people who need it, underfunded or underprivileged, etc. I want to give that back because I feel it's important. There are students out there that definitely want this achievement and appreciate with full clarity the luxury of their higher education that they're given. I'm not to say that most of my other fellow students don't, but I think there's a very different divide between people when it comes to their studies. I don't know why that is, and I haven't verified it. I can't give you solid proof, but this is just an experience that I've had, what observing other students versus myself and other people in different age brackets, etc. But regardless of that, everyone's education is important. It furthers the whole, not just yourself, you know. I don't want to be on unemployment benefit. I want to have a good job. I want to be able to travel. I want to be able to give my kids Christmas presents and birthday presents, and not loan money off my mum, give money to my mum, you know, because she's brought me up. I mean, I'm 32 and I still have to ask my mum for money from time to time, and that's not good. I don't want to be like that. Furthermore, I am nervous, and for me to get my master's, I need to have an overall grade of 2-1 to get into that master's. So I've been informed anyway. So that means I need to step my game up a lot when it comes to my grades and hopefully get there. Do I have a backup plan if that doesn't go right? I don't know. Maybe my body of work, what I can show them, what I've done out with, will go towards that. Maybe these will. I have not got a clue. But all I'm saying is that I really want that. I really, really want that for me. As far as books and stuff like that I need to buy are minimal, because we're doing online learning, so the teaching staff have done everything they can to get access to a lot of online stuff, so we're not having to spend too much money on solid materials, which is great. It's a bonus. It's extra money for us to concentrate on other things like bills and money, bills and food, etc., running costs of the house, things that we need when we can't necessarily be in work or have part-time jobs. A lot of the students I know have part-time jobs that they rely on for extra income, but that doesn't always work out. So some of our books cost about 30, 40, 50 quid for one book, and nobody can really afford that right now. So we're just going to do a lot of online work, which I'm happy for. My printer's going to be eating a lot more ink, but I'm good with that. Anything else that I've came across? Whether you're mature or a young student, a young adult, coming into uni, just starting uni in first year, or any level, I would say really take stock of where you've come from. Take stock of what you have done already. Never degrade yourself to think, oh, I've not done really much, because I think that was my problem as well, where I was like, I've not really done much, I've not got these good grades and stuff. The university's hard. It's meant to be like that. It's meant to challenge you, and I've often downgraded myself because I thought I'm not doing enough, or I'm not hitting this level. I want to be at that level, but I'm not. You have to think about how far you can realistically go. You might not be there yet. You might have a slower journey than someone else. And even that person who's going faster than you, they might hit a full brick wall at some point and not get anywhere. It's the same for pain. If suffering pain, you suffer pain, you have more experience in healing and going through those things, and you're wiser, etc. Everyone goes through things differently. If you're having issues, you're having trouble, ask for help. Do not suffer in silence, especially when it comes to your mental health. You really need to talk to a tutor, a lecturer, someone in your student services team, regardless of what uni that you're at. Seek out a doctor, seek out someone who has a mental health background that you can talk to about your issues, your problems, and trying to work through with them. If you need medication, don't be ashamed. Take that medication. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But always look to be furthering yourself and exploring oneself as a person, not as your grades. Okay? What are you learning as a person? Not necessarily your grades. And I know I got heavy caught up in that, and it made me very, very, very upset. But it wasn't like I wasn't learning anything. And like when I'm surrounded by a lot of A grade students that I know, and I'm not hitting that bar, and I'm wondering why, it's not that. And I can tell you, a lot of my friends don't have published books like I do, don't have this constant urge to be writing and to researching and being involved in things like YouTube, which I am, or on Twitch, which I am. So we're all in different levels here. You really need to ground yourself properly before you get overwhelmed with overthinking things, over analysing the minutiae of your grades. You need to settle, take a deep breath, and really think about your feedback, which you get from your tutors, your lecturers, and take those in. And even if you have an issue, you need to talk to them and speak to them and say, this is what's going on. And if you don't feel like they're doing enough, right? If you feel frustrated with them because they're not getting you, find a second opinion. Take your advice and your paper and your feedback and show it to another tutor. Say, listen, I don't feel like this has helped me. They don't seem to understand what I'm communicating to them. Can you help me in some way? If you have the time, I'd be very grateful. Thank you. Or if you've got personal tutor, go see them, or student services, or someone, anybody to help you. Preferably not another student, because you could get mixed answers from them. You're better going to the people who are actually teaching you or have some involvement with teaching, and go from there. And just brace yourself. Make sure you have everything you need. If you're a student from abroad and you're really struggling, reach out to those people that you love and that love you. In my uni, and it's not uncommon in other unis, there have been students that have not survived their degrees, and that's very, very upsetting and deeply regretful, and one has to ask why that is. And I can only hope that other people and anybody who watches this really takes the time to know that life is worth living, that you should go on, because there's far more to experience and there's far more to life than just grades and whatnot. There's always someone who can help you, even when you think there's not. And I don't want anybody to be in that position. I don't want anyone to feel like I felt. And even if you do, you need to learn to reach out. Hi, squirrel. And yeah, these things are important. This is a hard conversation to have. It's a very hard conversation. But I just want you to know that I love you and I like you, and I hope and wish you well on your studies. And if you know anybody, if you're watching this just as a random watcher and you know anybody is about to start uni or start a higher degree or college or anything like that, and they're very much struggling or scared, please get them to watch this video, because I've been where you've been. Okay, I've been in financial difficulty. I felt like I've wanted to end it. I've felt like I've wanted to not be here or give up and trash my degree and things like that. What's the point? But what would be the point in that? Nothing. The life is a gift, and it is worth living regardless. We are here to experience both joy and pain. Whether you are a religious person or not, It's my experience. Not to plug my books, but that's basically what I write about. The human experience, the right, honest, unflinching experience that we all have to have, and that's what we need nowadays. Humanity is so messed up right now. It's not like it's never been messed up, but it needs something to pull it out of itself, you know? So you can search my name on Amazon if you want. Look up some of my books, look at the reviews if you want. That's up to you. Lauren Cullen, if that's what you want to do. But yeah, I'm going to keep up with my diary. Hopefully not be as scary as last time. But I guarantee you I'll end up a hot mess at some point, so brace yourself for that. I thank you for watching. My name's Lauren Cullen. I'm going to be a fourth year, oh my god, I'm a fourth year student. I'm doing my dissertation at the University of Stirling, and I have mental health issues, I have anxiety, I have 2 kids, I'm 32, I'm a mature student, first time at uni, and I hope you can relate to me in some way or some other fashion, and I hope to see you some point in the future in my future videos. But please, if you like this video, if you watched all the way to the end, thank you. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, share this out, leave a comment if you want to leave a comment about anything that I've mentioned in this video, and I will get you in my next one. Haddles.